Hello friends, family, world, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make weekly travel videos documenting our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. In our current Eurotrip series, we're documenting our summer trip that we took between July through early September, where we visited a number of European countries and attractions that included places like Switzerland, Denmark, and even some of the Baltic countries on a cruise that we went on. To start from the beginning of the series, click on the eye at the top right corner of the screen and click on the Eurotrip 2019 playlist where you can start from the beginning on episode 1. If you'd like more detailed information about our itinerary as well as photos that we took throughout our trip, be sure to check out our blog at lukeandtyler.com. You can find a link down in the description box below. From where we last left off, we were in St. Gallen, Switzerland. From here, we wanted to head to the micronation of Liechtenstein. Since we had a Eurail pass, we wanted to take the train, and we found that the best way to do that was to head to the town of Vaduz, Switzerland, where you can proceed by train, which is one of the only Swiss towns that has a direct connection passing through and stopping in Vaduz station in Liechtenstein. So definitely a good option if you have a Eurail pass. Our walk from the train station to our hostel was not long, but was definitely an interesting and pretty walk, where you walked on a nice paved path through some farmland with mountain views in the distance. We got to our hostel to drop off our bags and were quite pleased with the views that we got from our hostel room. We headed south to the capital of Liechtenstein, Vaduz. We spent the day walking around the city, stopping first at the Liechtenstein Tourist Information Center, where we got some recommendations of where to visit, and we also got our passport stamped with the Liechtenstein stamp. Since Liechtenstein doesn't have any airports, the only way to get a stamp is to visit the tourist center. It costs money, but we figured we would never have the opportunity to do this again, so we may as well. After this, we headed to the St. Florian Cathedral, which is a pretty cathedral to enjoy, followed by the Alte Rheinbrücke, which is a wooden covered bridge that connects Liechtenstein to Switzerland. Another spot that we enjoyed was the Prince's Cellar, known in German as the Hofkellerei, and is a nice spot to enjoy some local wine tasting. This is probably the only place that you can enjoy local Liechtenstein wine, since they don't export any of it outside of the country. This winery is also owned by the Liechtenstein royal family. We returned to our hostel and enjoyed a beautiful sunset view from our room. The next day, we rented e-bikes from the Liechtenstein Tourist Information Center and carved out the whole day to enjoy the experience of riding our bikes all around the country. How many times do you have the opportunity to bike the entire length of a country in one day? So cool. With our e-bikes in tow, we rode up a pretty steep hill to get to Vaduz Castle. We found this to be a challenging bike ride, but we're happy with the views that we got of the castle, as well as some of the surrounding area. The royal family actually still lives in this castle, and therefore you're not able to visit the property itself, but it's still nice to check out the outside of the castle where you can get some nice photos. Vaduz is located right in the middle of the country, so we decided to bike as far south as we could to the border town with Switzerland of Balzers. The town is cute and has a castle on top of the only hill in the town that's nice to explore, as well as some vineyards that make it quite scenic and pretty. On the castle grounds, you get great panoramic views of the surrounding country in all directions. We finished the last bit of our bike route right to the southern border with Switzerland. Now that we were at the southern tip of the country, we could bike the entire length of Liechtenstein to the northern tip, which borders Austria. The bike paths were very scenic, taking you through well-paved, flat country roads with mountain views on both sides of you. The whole trip can take you about 2 hours, depending on how many stops you make to take pictures. Liechtenstein may not be a country that many of you have heard of, but it's definitely a worthwhile place to visit if you're traveling between Switzerland and Austria. Definitely the highlight of this trip for us was renting our bikes and just exploring the countryside with no set itinerary. We hope you enjoyed our video on Liechtenstein, and if you haven't already, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for our next video where we enter Austria, visiting the beautiful cities of Innsbruck and Salzburg. See you then. Bye.